All right, thank you. Quickly figuring it, it appears that Mr. Beal's been in custody for 257 days. Arguably, 67 of those would not count because he posted a bond here and was awaiting extradition. We don't know if Nebraska is actually going to follow through. The law provides that he gets credit for any time that he spends in custody in connection with this offense. Clearly, he wouldn't have been in custody in Iowa County without this offense, even during that time. The reason the bond was set high in the extradition matter was to make sure that he didn't get out. So I'll give him credit for the whole 257, or Mr. Walker, Mr. Helmberger, if you come up with something else, we can substitute that number.
I have the same number, Your Honor. Thank you.
There are three primary factors I need to consider. One is the gravity of the offense. And if you just were to consider that, 76 pounds?
176 pounds by my count.
It was 169.
Okay, well, 169 pounds of marijuana would, scream maximum penalty. I mean, you would, you can't get a more severe offense under this category, or it'd be difficult. The other primary factor is the need to protect the public, and that's pretty nominal here, with the exception that this offense was committed while he was on bond out of Nebraska for a similar offense. The other factor would be the needs of the defendant, and this is where we get into the individualized characteristics. Not every defendant's the same, not every crime is the same. I also note that he accepted responsibility. He entered a plea to the charge and did not take it to trial. He has certainly done a lot of good things in his life, and I'm impressed with the individuals who have spoken here today. I also did pay some attention to the information that Mr. Walker compiled concerning the sentencing in Wisconsin for this particular offense, and particularly the sentencings in the 7th District, which is where Iowa County is, which is where Grant County is, which is where La Crosse County is. And unless I misread it, there were only 2 sentences that were prison out of the 7th District. Both of those were mine, but there were only 2 out of the entire district concerning this offense. And in neither one of those cases was the delivery the primary reason for sending them to prison. There were a lot of other things going on, other charges and so forth. I maybe should have mentioned this at the outset, and we might have saved some time, but you're basically preaching to the choir here. I have no problem with medical marijuana. It would make perfect sense. You want me to sign a petition, I'll sign a petition. They should certainly look into this. It's not legal, though, to have 169 pounds of marijuana in your van for whatever reason, and we need to keep that in mind. My dad advocated the legalization of marijuana for as long as I can remember, recreational. He says you can't win the war on drugs, it's a waste of money. You could get great tax revenue by legalizing it. And as mentioned here, it's a preferable alternative to many other things. As has been noted, though, I don't make the law. I don't make policy. I have to follow the law as it's written, and if and until the law is changed, I have to enforce it and try to impose a sentence that addresses all 3 categories. And if we only considered one, the defendant's particular characteristics, He's basically nonviolent. He wasn't in this for personal financial gain. He accepted responsibilities. Maybe his motives were actually above honorable. Then he walks free. If I only look at the gravity of the offense, he's going to get a 10-year sentence, because you have to look at the amount of marijuana that was here. The factors have to be balanced, and then I look at the need to protect the public, and probably what concerns me most about this is the fact that he did it while on bond, knowing he was looking at prison, and still committed the same offense, and that's troubling. Maybe it's arrogance, maybe it's just this courage to do what you think is right in the face of the known consequences, but he did know the consequences, and nonetheless committed the offense, and now has to be held responsible. I had taken some notes. One was Ben Massell. He was an interested person. I hired him a couple times as a defense expert to give testimony concerning certain cases that I was working on, and I was saddened to hear that he passed away. Another note I made was Florence Nightingale, because that's kind of what it started out sounding like, and I don't want to minimize that. It sounds like Mr. Beal's done a lot of wonderful things in his life. One that I underlined, though, was Dr. Kevorkian, and this is Michigan. This is something that only applies in this regard. As we know, Dr. Kevorkian was helping people ease suffering. He was prosecuted a number of times. Personally, I thought that was wrong. If I'm a prosecutor, I'm not going to prosecute. If I'm a juror, I'm not going to convict unless I have to. If I'm a judge, I'm going to punish him, because the jury's found him guilty, he's admitted to committing the offense, and there's a difference between personal preferences and doing what is required by the job. And it's been said that we are a country of laws and not of people, and it's fair to acknowledge Mr. Beal's contributions to society, but it's not fair to give him a free pass in light of what other individuals who have committed the same offense, especially with a record, especially with being on bond for the same offense. And I go back to that because it's really what tells me that there's some aspect of your respect for the law and authority that needs to be addressed. I'm going to sentence you to the Wisconsin prison system for a period of 5 years. That will be 2.5 years confinement, 2.5 years extended supervision. You are entitled to earn release. You're entitled to 57 days credit. Whether you end up doing more or less than a year, I don't know. But I just wish you luck. I'm not I'm not imposing this because I think you're a bad person, but you committed a very serious offense. If you could go over his post-conviction remedies with him. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, one group asked that really quickly.
Very good. Another year and a half. 2.5 and 2.5. I don't get the operation.